Hello, wonderful people of the internet, and welcome to Modern World Dynamics, your go-to place for decoding the complexities of our modern lives. In this enigmatic world, even love isn't exempt from its quirks, so buckle up, because we're about to dive headfirst into the labyrinth of romance and try to crack the code of a mysterious riddle. Why did she suddenly lose interest? But don't worry, we've got a sense of humor about it all. In today's video, we're going to explore this baffling phenomenon. Let's take a journey back to the time when everything was rosy. Picture this. You're in the golden phase of a blossoming relationship, where everything is tinged with the magical hues of newfound love. Our couple, let's call them Jack and Jill, are just like you, caught up in this whirlwind of romantic bliss. In the early days, their chemistry was undeniable. You could almost see the sparks flying whenever they were together. Their conversations flowed like a river, endless and effortless. They shared jokes, dreams, even their most embarrassing moments. Nothing was off limits. It was as if they were in their own little world, oblivious to everything else. Jack, always the attentive one, picked up on Jill's love for daisies. So he began to surprise her with a fresh bunch every now and then. Jill, on her part, made sure to always have a pot of Jack's favorite Earl Grey tea ready whenever he visited. Their mutual interest was palpable, and it was these little gestures that spoke volumes about their affection for each other. Their dates were filled with laughter, shared secrets, and an unspoken promise of togetherness. They had their favorite spots, a park bench overlooking the city, a cozy corner in a quaint little cafe, their secret hideouts where they'd lose track of time. Each meeting was an adventure, a new chapter in their unfolding love story. But as with any story, there's always a turning point. For Jack and Jill, it was subtle at first. The once vibrant conversations began to lose their charm. The laughter that used to echo in their favorite spots started to fade. The surprises became fewer, the meetings less frequent. It was as if the color was slowly draining from their picture-perfect world. But as time went by, the dynamics started to shift. Jack and Jill's tale is not unique. It's a narrative that has played out in countless relationships. So, what changed? What made Jill lose interest? Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the shift in the next scene. It was almost like a switch flipped, and she was no longer the same person. Now, we've all been there, haven't we? One moment, she's all about you, hanging on to your every word. And then the next, it's like you're speaking a foreign language. Well, not exactly, but you get the point, right? This, my friends, is what we call the shift. No, it's not some fancy dance move or a latest tech gadget, but a change in her behavior and attitude. The sparkle in her eyes when she saw you, gone. The way she'd laugh at your jokes, even the lame ones, vanished. The enthusiasm in her voice when she talked to you, non-existent. You see, the shift is like a chameleon. It can take many forms, and it's always changing. One day she might be distant and aloof, and the next she might be overly critical and nitpicky. It's like trying to hit a moving target with a blindfold on. And trust me, that's no easy task. But let's not get all gloomy and serious here. The shift might be confusing and frustrating, but it's also quite fascinating. It's like a game of hide and seek, but instead of hiding behind the sofa or under the bed, she's hiding behind her own emotions. And your job, should you choose to accept it, is to find her. Now I know what you're thinking, but how do I do that? Well, don't you worry. We'll get to that in the next scenes, but for now, let's just say that it involves a lot of patience, understanding, and a good sense of humor. After all, if you can't laugh at the situation, then you're definitely doing something wrong. So, there you have it. The shift. A sudden change in her behavior, an attitude that leaves you scratching your head and wondering what on earth just happened. But remember, it's not the end of the world. It's just a part of the journey. And as they say, the journey is more important than the destination. And just like that, her interest seemed to vanish into thin air. So what exactly happened? Why did she lose interest? Well, let's dive into the possible reasons, shall we? First off, we've got the classic case of not feeling valued. Imagine your favorite book. You love it, right? But what if you're the only one who appreciates it while everyone else just doesn't seem to get its worth? The book would feel pretty unappreciated, wouldn't it? Similarly, if she doesn't feel valued in the relationship, she might lose interest. Next, we have the infamous lack of excitement. Picture this. You're watching a movie, but it's the same scene playing over and over again. It gets monotonous, right? That's how she might feel if the relationship becomes predictable and lacks excitement. Then there's the scenario where the connection is lost. Think of it like a phone call with poor reception. It's frustrating, isn't it? If the emotional connection in the relationship fades, she might lose interest. Another possible reason could be the lack of growth. Imagine you're a plant stuck in a small pot, unable to grow and flourish. That's how she might feel if she's not growing personally or as a couple in the relationship. Lastly, we cannot ignore the possibility of unmet needs. Picture a bird trying to fly with one wing. It's impossible, right? If her needs aren't being met in the relationship, she might lose interest. Now, these are just a few examples. Every person and relationship is unique, so the reasons can vary greatly. But one thing's for sure, understanding these reasons can help mend bridges or provide closure. And remember, it's not about blaming anyone. It's about learning, growing, and moving forward. So take these insights, apply them, and who knows? You might just be able to turn things around, or at least you'll be better prepared for the next relationship. Understanding these reasons can help mend bridges or provide closure. Before we dive deeper, a quick reminder. If you're finding value in these insights, do hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. We put a lot of effort into researching and producing this content, so if you're feeling generous, there's a link in the description where you can donate to support us. Every little bit counts and helps us to keep bringing you these deep dives into the modern world dynamics. Your support allows us to continue making informative videos like this one. Now let's get back to the topic. So, how do you handle this sudden loss of interest? Now you might feel like a balloon that's lost its air. A bit deflated, right? But don't worry, we've got some tips to help you bounce back. Firstly, remember, it's okay to feel a bit down. It's a normal part of life, but don't let it consume you. Like a good British cup of tea, let's steep in it, but not for too long. Next, try to understand the reasons behind it. Was it something you did? Or perhaps it was her? Or maybe it was just the wrong time? Understanding can help you learn and grow for future relationships. And lastly, keep your chin up. This isn't a Hollywood movie where losing interest is the end of the world. In real life, it just means another opportunity is around the corner. Remember, it's not the end of the world. It's just a part of the modern world dynamics. And there you have it, folks. We've journeyed through the labyrinth of interest and its sudden disappearance. We've unpacked the reasons, dived into the shift, and even provided some ways to handle it. Remember, understanding and addressing these losses is key. It's all part of the grand tapestry of human relationships. Thanks for tuning in to Modern World Dynamics. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and donate if you can. Until next time, keep exploring the dynamics of our modern world.